All right, let's talk about something that's, well, it's complicated. Divorce appraisals. It's one of those really crucial steps when a partnership ends and you've got to figure out shared assets. So let's dive right in.
Yeah, this is a big one, isn't it? It's a question at the center of so many tough conversations. I mean, when you separate your home, it's not just bricks and mortar, right? It's memories. It's a huge financial asset. So, how in the world do you untangle all of that, the money, the emotions, and land on a number that feels fair to everyone involved?
Well, that's exactly where a divorce appraisal comes into the picture. It's a process designed for this specific, really tough situation to give you a clear, objective path forward.
Okay, so what is it really? Think of it like this. A licensed professional comes in and does a formal evaluation to figure out the fair market value of your shared assets. Now, most of the time, we're talking about the family home, but you'll see it can cover a lot more than that. And the report they create, that thing is super important. It becomes a key document for the lawyers, for mediators, even for the judge. So why go through all this trouble? Why is this formal process so important? Well, it all boils down to one word: fairness. It's about getting away from just guessing. And this right here is the heart of it. Look, on one hand, without an appraisal, what do you have? You've got opinions, right? Guesses, emotional attachments, and that's a recipe for disagreement. But an appraisal, it just sweeps all that away and replaces it with an objective number. You get a real, neutral value that's based on actual market data. It gives you a solid foundation to build an agreement on, because it takes all that emotion out of the mix and just focuses on the facts. And the whole point of this is to support what's called an equitable division of property. And that word equitable is so important. It doesn't just mean a clean 50-50 split. It means what's fair given the specific situation. This isn't about one person winning and the other losing. It's about making sure those huge decisions, who gets the house, how much a buyout should be, are all based on a number that everybody can actually trust.
Okay, so how do they even come up with this magic number? You might be picturing someone just walking through the house for 5 minutes, but nope, it's a really methodical, step-by-step process. First up, they do a super detailed inspection. They're looking at everything: the condition of the house, any upgrades you've done, the whole 9 yards. Then they hit the books. They do a ton of research on what are called comparables, which are just recent sales of houses just like yours in the area. After that, they take all that data and analyze it using these proven valuation methods. And the final step? They put it all together in a formal report that lays out exactly how they got to that final number. No mystery.
And, it's really important to get this. We're not always just talking about the house you lived in. Sure, the main home is the most common thing that gets appraised, for sure, but the list can get a lot longer. You might need an appraisal for a vacation home, maybe some rental properties, or even a piece of undeveloped land. And in some of the more complex situations, this can even include things like businesses or other really valuable personal items. The goal is to make sure the entire marital estate gets valued the right way. Okay, listen up, because this next part is super important. It's a common point of confusion that can end up being a really costly mistake. Here it is. Not all appraisals are the same.
The biggest difference is the purpose. An appraisal you get for a mortgage, that's for the bank. Its only job is to make sure the house is good collateral for the loan. Simple. But a divorce appraisal? That's for the court. It is way more detailed. Sometimes it even has to figure out the value on a specific date in the past, like the day of separation. And here's the kicker. It's held to a much, much higher standard, because you better believe it has to be able to stand up to questioning in a courtroom. If you try to use a regular lender's appraisal in a divorce, there's a good chance it'll just get thrown out. And that's just a huge waste of time and money. So, if you remember just one thing from all this, let it be this. The whole point of a divorce appraisal is to help everyone get to a fair agreement. How? By giving both people a credible, neutral number that they can actually count on. It's really just a tool for clarity in a very cloudy situation.
And that kind of leaves us with a final question to think about, doesn't it? When emotions are running so high, and that's totally understandable, maybe, just maybe, having a foundation of solid, objective facts is the best tool we have for finding a more peaceful way forward. Something to think about. Thanks for joining me.